This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim.
Tim, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well, but you got the floor all sticky before we started.
Hey, that's not a... You got to give some context to that,
You
some background.
You spilled
I thought you were going to say you spit all over it.
No, you spilled your beer all over the floor. This is a nice studio
Yeah.
that HeadGum lets us record in week after week in perpetuity.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are. First of all, you're bringing alcohol. They've asked many times that you don't bring alcoholic beverages in.
Yeah, but then I always say, like, no, it's a soda. And, you know, they're like, well, you take the paper bag off it. I'm like, no, you can't make me.
Yeah, you always complain about how your catchphrase is the HeadGum management are cops.
Yeah.
That's what you always say.
Yeah, and I know my rights.
Yeah, and you listen to that Ice-T side project, Body Count.
Yeah, cop killer.
Yeah, and we all know how they feel. So that's your opinion, Tom.
Isn't it crazy that he made that and now he's on Law and Order where he's a cop?
Wow, Tom.
Yeah. Well, I bet he really has some regrets. He's like, ooh, just kidding, guys.
So you exploded your beer all over everything in the studio with all this sensitive equipment. You just went, oh no, and then you got up and just ran around with it while it was still exploding, just so you could spread out the sticky
not just so I could
foam everywhere.
Not so I could spread it out. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, you know how I know you didn't know what to do? You looked at me and Marika and you went, what do I do?
Yeah, and all you did was laugh at me, which
well,
was not helpful.
Marika also shook her head in disgust because you got beer all over the rug that she was planning on bringing into her home.
Yeah. Well, then I remembered there's a sink outside. I brought it into the sink like a genius.
Did you clean it up on the way to the sink?
Did I clean what up?
All the crap on all the
Not on
beer
the
that
way.
you spilled on the floor?
Put the beer in the sink first things first to stop the problem from getting worse.
Right, but then did you clean up the sink area?
You left. You were like, I'm out of here.
I went to go get paper towels, Tom.
Yeah, well, you came back with alcohol yourself and candy.
I came back with kombucha.
You think this is some kind of a party? You came back with kombucha that had a warning, not for people under 21.
That's all kombucha.
No, that's not all kombucha.
Yeah, it all has the
You were like, I'm going to get hammered. That's
You're acting out is what you're doing, Tom.
It's the only way I can forget about this. I'm going to eat all this candy. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to be all hyped up. While I was here scrubbing the floors with tissues, because that was all that was here until you brought back the paper towels. Thank you for doing that.
Tom, I'm going to say this as a friend.
Uh-huh.
I don't like you as a person. I genuinely think you're not a good person.
Oh, thank you.
How
You said that as a friend?
Yeah.
Okay, well then that's fine.
Yeah. How are you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm a little bit sick, but I'm powering through. That's partially why I really didn't know what to do. I've had a few Sudafeds.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't be drinking beer.
Well, too little, too late. Is that why you shook it up?
I didn't shake up your beer, Tom.
No, the little bit of alcohol is good. It kills the germs. It makes you sick.
But how many beers did you have before you got here?
I had one beer before I got here.
All right. I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
That is true. I was there for a minute before you got there.
Whatever.
I had a few shots.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I'm good, Tim. We just got back from London, England.
Yep.
London Podcast Festival. We were on different flights, all over the place. We were never on the same flight.
We were never on the same flight. We were like the president and the vice president.
Right, just to be sure. If one of those planes went down, the show could go on.
Yeah.
But flying back, Tim, for the first time ever, oh, shit, I have to look at something. I flew in business class like a businessman.
That's, number one, very impressive. Number two, what do you have to look at that you had to
Because
interrupt your own sentence?
The whole time, because I was trying to upgrade to business class with my frequent flyer points.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't say you're a frequent flyer.
No, I'm not. But I had a credit card that got me points and stuff. So I was looking one day. I'm like, oh my god, I have like most of my net worth is in airline points right now. So it's like, what am I doing? Like, I could upgrade like the next 10 round trip flights I have. Why am I not using these things? But when I called a while ago, they were like, no, we don't have any.
They don't have any seats available.
Any seats for points available because they want people who are going to pony up some cash.
Yeah, they want high rollers.
But the thing that I said shit about was when I called the company from London on my cell phone. I couldn't really make out what the person was saying because they had like a thick British accent. They had like a Cockney accent.
How dare they?
Yeah. They're like, well, what can I do for you today, governor? Well, you'd like a bigger seat, would you? And I'm not sure if I agreed to points or if I paid for that upgrade. I had to give my credit card number at one point. But
boy.
Yeah.
You know what my fingers are crossed for.
If I had to pay, it was like $500 fucking that I don't want to be spending on a plane seat right now.
Well.
But it was very nice. I had an all-around pleasant experience coming back.
In business class.
Because guess what else?
Did you try to act like... Did you, like, take advantage of every amenity available to you?
I wore a Bluetooth headset going in, so everybody knew I was a businessman, too.
Mm-hmm.
Buy, sell.
I mean,
lay off that division.
Were you wearing AirPods,
They're not profitable. No, I don't wear my AirPods like when I only wear my AirPods when I'm on the subway, the bus, or if I'm walking around. I do not wear them indoors.
Okay.
And I would consider a plane indoors.
Okay. That's controversial, but...
What do you mean it's controversial? Anyway, I was not wearing my AirPods.
You didn't have to yell at me. I was just trying to make conversation, man.
Look, man, I'm on
You're on
offense.
edge. You're drunk, first of all.
I can't get drunk unless I start licking the floor. So first things first, though, I was able to go into like a first class lounge, and that was very nice.
You always want to go into the lounge at airports.
Tim?
You always like... One time, like, we flew together, and you're like, I got us lounge access. But then we got there, and the lounge was closed. So it also, like, what's the lounge? It just has, has shrimp in there? Is there shrimp in the lounge?
No. No. Not this lounge.
I just think of it's like shrimp cocktail.
Ooh, I think there actually was shrimp cocktail on the menu. I'll tell you what it is. These lounges, instead of waiting in, like, a hotel lobby or an airport lobby, it's like waiting in a hotel lobby.
Ooh.
So it's a little bit nicer. Like, you're sitting on like a leather couch instead. But they have,
how many leather couches are there?
Like a bunch.
Wow. This I gotta see.
There was a bar you could go up to and say, "Give me a drink," and they would.
And you wouldn't say please because they're service employees.
Right. I already got in. This is my lounge.
Look, I'm rich. I'm a rich guy.
Yeah. They give you a menu at this lounge, and you can pick one thing off the menu and hand it to them, and then they would give you that thing to eat. So I had this...
Wait, say that again?
You could order one thing off a limited menu for food.
Okay.
And I did that. I have very nice, chicken Penang. Penang? Is that how you say it?
Penang chicken?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's very good. I always think I don't like Indian food, but then I forget, like, a lot of it's chicken and peanut butter, and I like that.
You a 2-year-old?
So that was delicious. But the best thing of all, the second best thing was they had 4 different kinds of like bar nuts. You could eat as much of it as you wanted.
Were they like a bar mix?
Yeah.
I love a snack mix so much.
They had
not just Chex Mix, any kind of snack mix.
They had a NYC deli mix, which I was like, I've never seen deli sell their own.
What was in the NYC deli mix?
It was like Chex without Chex, or Chex Mix without Chex.
Okay, so a typical bar mix.
Yeah.
All right, pub mix.
Pub mix. They had that like was that like the Asian mix with like wasabi peas? Mm-hmm. They had that one.
And like the rice crackers. And
yeah,
stuff?
rice crackers.
Those are good, yeah.
Tell you what was the best one? Rosemary peanuts, delicious.
You know what? You're not gonna respond well to this. I'm not a huge rosemary fan.
It's pretty good. I'm coming around on it.
People named Rosemary, I like.
Right. But then they had a soda fountain. All you could drink soda. Nobody could even stop you if they wanted to.
Wow.
So I had a bunch of soda.
I bet if somebody...
I had like one beer and then like 20 sodas.
If you're an authority figure...
I got some dirty looks mixing Coca-Cola and Fanta, though.
Really?
Yeah. Said, get out. I belong here.
Yeah. I didn't even use points for this. They screwed me.
Yeah. But then on the plane, it's very nice. You know what the difference is with like business class and like economy?
It's bigger seats.
They just treat you like a human being. Like they don't even treat you that nice or like that exceptionally well. You're just treated like you're responsible and you're not going to like go crazy.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
In back in coach,
Yeah.
it's not unfair. It's like, look, I understand why flight attendants have to treat people like they might go crazy at any point, that they're not
they
acting
do.
like reasonable human
Yeah.
beings. But it's also when you're a coach passenger,
Mm-hmm.
you're up against it, man.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
Look, sometimes you just snap because, like, look,
Right.
it's not the way you're being treated by people, but it's the way you're being treated
By a corporation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, like you can't yell at you can't get mad, or there's no outlet for you to yell at the
flight attendants.
yeah,
'cause they've
or
got
the-
it bad too.
yeah, but there's no outlet for like for you to yell at the guys
Yeah,
in the
and
boardroom
you
that
can't
made
go up to the captain's door anymore because then they restrain you.
Tom. There was on my flight.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to stay up. It was a daytime flight, and like it landed, at what would have been like 2 a.m.
Right.
London
So
time.
you were
Whatever. I was
2
very
a.m.
tired. I was wired.
Oh, okay. But like a normal time for you to come home, so you were trying to stay awake so you could go to sleep and be back on New York time.
Yeah, and a flight attendant from first class came back to the back to get something, but he was the first class.
Really handsome. Is that
He
how you-
was really handsome, and he had a Sully vibe to him, and
Did he just have
they
a
were
mustache?
they were
Is that-
they were dressed.
You know, Sully wasn't a flight attendant.
No, exactly. No, this is what I'm saying. And they were dressed differently in first class. They were all wearing white.
Wow, in first class, the flight attendants are pilots themselves.
Well, no, the guy came back to get something, and I was like, oh, shit, the pilot's out walking around in coach. Something is terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, and like he was walking with purpose, probably because he was like...
He's like, can I just take a quick peek out that window?
Yeah, I freaked out, and then I realized, oh, he's the first class flight attendant.
Yeah. What was he doing back there?
I don't know. Probably someone in first class was like, I want this, and you have to go get it.
I want the finger of an economy class passenger. He went back there with one of those cigar cutters. Like, right away.
That's why they had to send back their sulliest looking guy.
Yeah.
If Sully came up to me, it's like, Tim, I need your finger.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, I trust you.
Yeah. Well, it's an honor to serve, sir. They give you real silverware, like real knives and everything. They trust that you're not going to go on a stabbing spree. They give you like your meal comes in like china, fine china.
I mean, who wants all this?
I did. It was nice. And then mostly it was just, I was in a middle seat too. It wasn't even like that great. And in fairness, I was like, middle seat's not bad. And then literally both people on either side of me came in with like canes, like walking sticks. I was like, oh God. Like now I'm going to feel like a jerk, like being like, excuse me, can you get up?
There's not enough room for you to just get by?
No, because they also had like a bunch of like crap in front too.
Man, what a crappy experience. One time I flew first class to Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
Wasn't that good.
Well, that's like a relatively short flight.
Yeah. There were people in first class that were upset.
About what?
I was in first class. I was flying to North Carolina, and my flight got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
And so they rebooked me on a flight the next morning.
Oh, and bumped you out.
Through Orlando, and they're like, all right, on the long flight, we'll give you first class.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's like a 2-hour flight, 3-hour
Yeah.
flight, or whatever. And it was like at 8 a.m. and there are all these parents of that, like they did the Home Alone thing, the McAllister thing where
yeah.
where their kids were sitting back in coach, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna sit in first class." And I just remember this one woman. All I heard was the flight attendant responding to her, being like, "I don't think so." And this woman looked so upset, but like end of her rope upset.
Yeah.
She's like, "I mean, I can put some vodka in orange juice. I mean, I know that's a screwdriver, but that's like close, right?" And this lady was so upset. She wanted a mimosa. She thought, and like she's like, "I'm away from my kids.
Yeah.
This next week's gonna be hell. I mortgaged my friggin' house
Yeah.
to go on this trip."
Right.
And I'm flying
And
first
all I
class,
wanted-
and I'm gonna have like 3 hours of peace,
Yeah.
and like just give me a mimosa. I'm in first class, and then this lady offered her a screwdriver at 8 a.m. And this woman was like, "I bet
They
she
couldn't make her a
I bet she
mimosa?
they didn't have champagne."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
When I sat down, they gave me a glass of champagne. That's part of the experience.
Mm.
And I said, "I don't like champagne, but thank you. I'll drink it." You could also go.
Spit it in her face.
You could go and get as many snacks as you wanted too.
I could do that too, Tom.
Yeah. Well, I did it more.
Hey, Tom.
Uh-huh.
This week, I'm sorry to say, is a topic that is not very near and dear to your heart.
This is just going to be a baseless attack on me.
I think we got to do an etiquette guide.
Oh, my God.
I just want to know, what are your opinions on tipping?
I will say this. I think tipping is stupid, and it shouldn't be as prevalent as it is. We should be paying people, fair wages for what they're doing. I hate the idea that people have to like rely on the kindness of strangers to get things, and like it.
But you do like wielding that power over service employees?
No, Tim, you frequently give me shit about this, and a lot. I can't get into one of the examples.
Why not?
Because you gave me shit on stage for a bad tip. Where like when I gave that tip, I was drunk, and I copied the person next to me, who's a notorious cheapskate.
Well, you should have known not to. If he
I
was
was
a notorious
too drunk to remember.
Tom, that is not an excuse.
And it wasn't even like that bad of a tip.
It was like a 14% tip.
No, was it?
I think so. I think
No.
it was bonkers low. Anyway, Tom, you don't. All right, tipping. Yeah,
well,
necessary evil.
Tim thinks tipping's a way to make friends.
In a perfect world, everybody's getting paid a fair wage, a living wage.
Yeah.
You can work in the service industry and live comfortably.
Right.
But that's not the case. The minimum wage is too low.
Especially what's the service minimum wage is like half of minimum. It's like $3 or something ridiculous.
And then there's you split the tips amongst everybody. So like what you might think,
right.
This person's getting, in your case, you're like 14% of this bill. This woman's getting a great deal. It was a woman, by the way, which probably emboldened you further. But keep in mind that these people have to split it between other people who are not getting, and it's insane to think
the bus people.
Yeah, and it's insane to think that there's people working in like the kitchen of a restaurant that never come out that are dependent on the tips. Like that's out of whack here, right?
Did you see on the internet there was somebody posted a picture? I think it was a place in New York where it had two separate tips, and it was like waitstaff tip and kitchen tip. That is like a bad, like, come on. What? Like, stop making this even more complicated.
Yeah, and you don't want to pay either of them.
I want to pay, like, tell me how much this stuff costs, and you're able to, pay these people a fair wage, and I'll pay that.
This is why I only eat at Danny Meyer's restaurants.
Does he do that?
Yeah, it's all.
I've never heard of this. No tipping.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I like about in Europe, that it's like, everybody's paid like a decent amount, so you don't have to tip them.
Yeah.
You gotta get garbage service as a result very often, but still.
I mean,
I'd prefer that.
You get garbage service here too because like you don't deserve good service.
I don't deserve good service.
No, none of us deserve good service.
I've been in business class, sir. I deserve good service. The business class ruined me forever, by the way. Like, I have been like so surly to people ever since. And
you're somebody that, with the trappings of wealth, you would immediately become a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just have to be quarantined from like the lower classes immediately.
Yeah, I'd like to be very rich.
Yeah, because you don't like dealing with, like, you don't like doing anything for yourself.
Yeah, no, I hate doing things for myself.
Yeah.
I like
the way you made Marika clean up your spilled beer before.
It's not true. I did a lot of the cleaning. In fairness,
at one point Marika said, "You've just been walking around this whole time."
No, I was walking around cleaning.
Marika's shaking her head.
And in fairness, I have like half a beer now, so I'm the real victim.
I went and bought paper towels.
Yeah, and you also bought some High Chew.
Yeah, the best candy in the world.
Yeah. How long did you take picking that out before you came back with the paper towels? Oh, which flavor? Which flavor?
How long was I gone for? A minute and a half? I ran to the bodega, Tom.
Yeah, right.
The amount I ran just now is more than you've run in the last 10 years.
How much did you tip the guy at the bodega?
Standard 35%.
35% tip. Wow. I will tell you this, Tim. Me and you were just at a bar.
I didn't have to tip him because he pretty much sneezed on me.
He said, "That one's on me, pal." We were just at a bar, and I tipped 30%.
Oh yeah, okay. We always, there's a little bit behind the scenes. We always go for a drink before the show and discuss what we're going to talk.
Right. So
we
then
used to discuss what we talked about on the show. Now we just
figure it out as
about
we
the
go.
government or something. But I'm always worried because we put down our company card and you pay. Mm-hmm. And it occurred to me a couple weeks ago, like, oh no, this is the same bartender every week. If Tom's tipping, this guy must hate me.
Yeah, I'm getting a vodka and spit.
Yeah,
it's a vodka and seltzer.
Right. And that's a lot of spit to make up the amount of seltzer that would be in that.
No, I'm always, like, any place that I'm, like, going to be there often, I'm always generous with tipping. Because, like, you want to, like, you got a nice rapport with somebody. Like, the multiple bartenders at this place are very nice to us. Don't give a like, a few of them we've even told, like, why we're there and what we go to do afterwards, and they didn't even make fun of us, at least to our faces. Yeah. So that deserves a nice tip, in my opinion.
Tom, what's your system? You're at a restaurant. You and I go out to dinner.
Yeah.
We get separate checks.
Yeah.
What's your system?
Well, I always like when they put the percentages.
Right, but let's just say you get a check and it says $26.35 on it.
And that's with tax?
That's with tax.
I will calculate 20% of that, even though I think you're supposed to do it before tax.
Right.
But that's like too
complicated. How do you do the
20%? Usually I will figure out what 10% is by moving the decimal place and then doubling it.
See, everybody's always, you do this sometimes. You pull out a you pull out a calculator and like start doing math.
You know what? Sometimes I have to do that when don't say maths just to look. All right, everybody already hates me from this episode. Now you're just trying to appeal to our European listeners. No, I will take out a calculator when it's like a big check. And
when you want to stiff someone?
No, and it's not being split. When I have to figure out, like, oh, what did I get? What did I? Which, by the way, I am also a big proponent of, like, splitting something equally.
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Well, that's because usually you've had 8 more drinks than everybody else at the table.
No, I was going to say the exception is when, like, I've had more drinks or...
So every time?
Or
you're always like, but I'm a bigger guy.
Shake up this beer again, Tim. Show you who's the real boss. And I am a bigger guy. And I like to drink more.
Tom, I've these last few days, I've been eating like a maniac. Like, I've just been craving.
Maybe you're growing.
I think I might be growing. Either that or, like, my body has decided, like, nah, you're going to be a big fat guy now.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because, like, it's like a switch flipped where it's just like, eat more. Eat more. You need to eat more. And it's like I'm eating more than I've eaten in months.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Like bad food or just anything?
Anything.
Yeah.
Salads. Pizzas.
Yeah.
That's it.
Huh.
Lots of salad and pizza.
We should start a growth chart here in the Headgum Studios.
Yeah.
So we can mark how much you've grown and how
we
much
can do
you'll
that
continue to grow.
For years to come.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Splitting tips?
Oh, yeah.
Splitting.
So anyway, and
Oh,
Brad's
you
like,
were asking my
I don't
method.
know. I don't know. Yeah, your system, it's just move the decimal point and double it. And if you can't do that, then you shouldn't be eating at a restaurant to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very simple. And like in New York, 20% is standard. In other parts of the country, that's not standard because like cost of living's less.
I try to go a little above 20%. Like
Because you think the waiter will then become your friend, yeah.
No, I think it's the nice thing to do, or it's the Mr. Wendell situation.
You care to explain?
It's the Arrested Development song, Mr. Wendell. Mr. Wendell's a man who's in need, and the singer, the rapper, says, "Here, Mr. Wendell, have $1. You know what? Take 2.
And
$1 doesn't mean that much to me, but it means the whole world to you."
So you feel like a big shot when you do it. You feel like you're above a waiter.
No, I don't give them the speech that he gives Mr. Wendell in the song.
But
is this? Tamara? Tamara, come here for a second.
But you do right under the tip. This is barely anything to me, but I know this will change your life.
It usually is barely anything because, like, I don't go to like restaurants where like the difference between 20% and 22% is usually like 70 cents or something, right?
Right. Yeah. It's not like you're going out to a 5-star place.
Yeah. So like if I move the decimal point and double it, I just round up to the nearest dollar because why not? Let's make everything even.
Yeah.
So you know what? Sometimes it's 5 cents. Sometimes it's not even that much, and I'm not that big of a hero.
I did like when we were in England, we went to brunch, us and some other people, some friends.
My wife.
Your wife, yes.
How dare
I would
you?
consider
Some friends.
Your wife is a friend of mine.
What?
Yeah, she told me.
What in the hell is going on here? Is this true?
When you got up from the table to go, I think it was like the 4th or 5th time you announced, I have to go make some room.
No, I was doing cocaine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Your wife said, "You know what, Tom? You're a good friend."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the context?
There was no
Just out of
context. It was
nowhere?
out of nowhere. Everybody was like quiet. And it was really weird. And then like after a minute or two, I just said, "Thank you." And then you came back and you're like, "Whoa, whoa."
Yeah, it was all
party.
blustery. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
no.
I look great.
Yeah.
I feel great.
Yeah. And everybody, like the whole restaurant was looking at you. You still had a bunch of powder in your beard.
Yeah, it's all sweaty.
Yeah.
I pooped my pants. I don't know anything about cocaine. I just know from movies.
Well, if you're in the bathroom, you can poop in the toilet.
Yeah, but I was too high
amped.
on cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't work a belt.
But they included, there was like a small service fee because we were like a large group, right?
Yeah.
But I did like that when like we didn't really have to like split the check. They were just like, oh, okay, like everybody just like hand your card to the waitress and tell them how much you want to put on that. And then the last
Tim
person
will pick up the rest.
No, but I think did you get the last one?
No, my wife did. I didn't pay at all. She paid for me.
Did they tell her how much it was?
Yeah, they were
Oh,
like,
okay.
here's the balance.
And was it high or low? Was she stiffed or?
I think I think together we came out on top. She came out worse because she paid for me.
Right. So she still took a bath on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's funny. I put like an extra 50p in there. So if I can get that back,
Yeah, sure.
I'd really. If you could ask my friend, your wife, for my 50.
Why don't you ask her yourself?
Maybe
do
I
you have
will.
my wife's phone number?
I don't think I do have your wife's phone number.
That's weird. I don't have any of my friends' wives or significant others' phone numbers.
Why? Are you afraid?
No, it's just like when
I don't trust myself with other men's wives.
No, it's just kind of like when would that come up, right?
Yeah. What's your wife's phone number? Let me see if I have it in here.
What? You're trying to get
your
me
wife's
to
phone
publicly
number.
say my wife's phone number?
Yeah, and then people can call up and say, Tim, please.
But like if you're hanging
I do
out,
have your wife's phone number.
Oh,
in there.
really?
Yeah.
Now that's weird. When do you think you got that?
I don't, you know what? Like whenever like a group of us like go somewhere or go away, like I'm always on like chains with other numbers. And I'm always like, who the hell are all these people? And usually I will like by the process of deduction.
Wow, you're a regular Holmes.
Yeah, I will.
Ooh, I get to be Watson in this scenario.
I mean, in this scenario, Watson would just ask Holmes what his wife's phone number is. But there are numbers that I don't know, so then I'll figure out like who's not in my
Watson
phone.
doesn't have a wife.
He does in like the later things.
Isn't Watson a lady on TV now?
No, that's not the canon one.
Oh,
I
woman
think
can't be John Watson, huh?
she's Joan Watson in that show. That show went off the air, I think, like 10 years ago. No, but I'll
Commander in Chief starring Gina Davis still on the air though?
God, I wish. No, but then I'll deduce who it is, and then I will add them as a contact.
Yeah, I guess that's
so
what
that
do
I
too.
know. Because like it's always weird. Like, what am I gonna do? Go up to somebody's wife and be like, "Hey, what's your phone number?"
Yeah, like the only time you see these people is when you're all hanging out.
Right. Yeah. I never have any like thing to tell except when me and your wife plan surprise parties for you,
which happens surprisingly often.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like it when you do that.
Well, we've never been able to execute one. A lot of
on to you.
A lot of people RSVP. No, thank you. So unfortunately, we haven't been able to pull one off. But maybe one day.
Anyway, Tom, let's go to Emily Post. Let's see what she has to say
Hello.
about. Do you know about Emily Post? She's the manners lady. She's the etiquette lady.
Yeah.
But they have a new the Emily Post Institute now.
Whoa.
Yeah. And they have all sorts of advice.
At that institute, not a single person has ever broke wind.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I bet there is a...
probably not a lot of campuses you could say that about. Not a lot of institutes.
I bet there's a way that you're supposed to deal with it.
Breaking wind? I think you're supposed to excuse yourself and let it rip in the bathroom.
Is that Emily Post words? Let it rip?
Yeah, verbatim.
Restaurants, wait service, sit down, 15 to 20% pre-tax.
Okay. So pre-tax. Yeah.
I'm glad you're not bringing up this, like, in other countries they don't tip. That's the American tippers excuse for like being like, well, actually, I live my life European style. Yeah. It's like, well, then go there.
Yeah.
Can you guess how much you tip the wait service at a buffet?
Maybe 10 to 15%.
10%.
10%.
And this is Emily Post. You're supposed to print this out.
Mm-hmm.
They should have like a wallet-sized card.
I'm sure there are.
In case somebody ever confronts you about that. Yeah. Like, hey, Emily Post said.
Yeah.
I'm
sure that would make somebody who's getting stiffed on a tip feel better if you showed them a laminated card. You should do it preemptively. Just in case. Just so you know, we're leaving, but on this card it says I don't have to tip you that great. But I mean that you're tipping the people who are like clearing plates and stuff.
What?
The buffet. That's
well, they come and they tell you. They're like, hey.
Yeah, they usually give you like a little bit of a hey, don't use your hands in the trays.
Wait, what kind of buffets do you go to that you need ground rules?
I go to ones where you can go hog wild.
Every buffet waiter or waitress, we can just say waiter for both, right? That's gender neutral, right?
Sure.
Waiter has come over, and it's been like that they were like, well, we had to figure out something to make the waiters say to the patrons. But like it's never. It's like, yeah, the food's over there.
Food's over
just
there.
fill up a plate and then
Please
get
don't
forks.
put your hands in.
I don't know that they ask you not to put your hands in there. I just go in there.
They will if you do it.
How much do you tip a host or maitre d'?
I don't think I've ever like been at a place that seems like it would require that.
Yeah, no obligation for greeting you and showing you your table.
But what if you say to him like, "Hey, how about a seat near the kitchen? How about a seat near the bathroom?"
I'm gonna have to frequently get up and rip one. And Emily Post says I should do that in the bathroom.
And then you discreetly pass them the money. This is for you. It's $100.
$10 to $20 for going above and beyond to find you a table on a busy night.
Yeah, there we go.
If you are a regular patron, or on occasion if you are a regular patron,
Okay.
which that seems weird to me. Like if you're going there all the time, that's gonna bankrupt you.
Right. Well, so they're saying like you don't have to do it every time.
Yeah.
Just an occasional. And then the staff presumably will know like this guy doesn't tip every time, but he does sometimes.
Yeah.
So keep treating him well.
Yeah. You got to trick them.
Yeah.
They're not that smart.
That's what I'm getting is your opinion.
Food delivery, Tom. And this is where I go off the reservation.
I usually do 20%, but if it is like a small order, then I'll bump it up so at least I'm tipping like $3. Yeah.
To me, all right, Emily Post, this idiot, this stupid moron, says 10 to 15% of the bill.
Yeah.
25 at least. Someone's coming to your home.
Yeah, that's
They're
the way I
bringing it
always
to
feel.
your door and handing it to you. They have to like get. They either have to like get on a bike or in a car. And in New York City, you got to like double park and. Like,
yeah, it's always my opinion that like they're doing a lot more work than a waiter bringing it to your table. You know, a waiter, even the biggest
restaurant
in the
same
world,
house the whole time. Restaurant.
Tim, are you under the impression that restaurants are houses?
When I was a kid, I was trying to convince my parents to turn our house into a restaurant.
You had a vague understanding of zoning laws as a kid.
I had no understanding. I was like 4.
Okay, and were you gonna work there?
Yeah.
What were you gonna do?
I don't know. Be the waiter or the cook. Everything. We wouldn't have that many tables.
Wow. Oh, okay. So it'd be very exclusive.
Well, we didn't have a huge house.
Yeah.
Sorry, we weren't like it wasn't like the Reynolds estate.
Well, and it's not like you had a lot of staff. It would be you, your brother, your mom, and your dad.
Yeah.
You know.
We could hire.
Oh yeah, that's true. You would let employees into your home?
Yeah, why not? They're like family to us.
That's nice. That's why your restaurant was so popular.
It would have been, Tom. So mad about it.
Let me ask you this: what do you feel about with like delivery? Because we were talking about like ordering through apps, right? Not appetizers.
I order all my apps through apps.
Talking about ordering like a delivery through an app. I always feel bad, like I should tip cash because I always feel like they don't get that money.
Yeah, my problem is I never have cash.
Yeah, I never have cash either.
Yeah, I'm probably just over tipping. Through Seamless or whatever.
And that's going right to the restaurant owner and Seamless.
This stupid friggin' fat cat.
Yeah.
Fanning himself with my my extra 8%.
Yeah, I guess sometimes the receipt will say like what the tip is, so presumably.
Yeah, but like the delivery guy, they'll just go back and be like, "This is the tip. You don't get this."
Yeah, you're fired now.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Anyway. This is why small business owners are not as good as every politician tells you.
Tim, how much do you tip a waxer?
A what?
A waxer. Somebody who's waxing your body.
How much of my body are they waxing?
Well, presumably you're going to get charged based on that. So, like, percentage-wise, how much would you tip somebody waxing you?
Is it against my will, or am I... I'm a willing...
You're willingly
waxy.
doing it, yeah.
I'm going to say that's a straight-up 50%.
50%?
How much do you tip your barber? I tip my barber like an insane amount.
Really? I tip my barber 20%. And they always seem happy with that. I'm looking to see if they have barber here. They don't. They have hairstylist or colorist 15%.
I tip my barber, even though it's weird because like he gives me bad haircuts.
Yeah, you look like shit.
And number two, he's the only guy. Like he's
It's
the
a
owner.
one-man operation.
Yeah, he's the owner, the only barber.
Mm-hmm. So he's living the dream.
He's got a fish tank. He fixes watches.
He's turned his house into a barber shop. He's
Pretty
doing what
much.
he wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. But I'm always like, is it offensive that like I'm tipping him because he's just like I'm a business owner. Don't tip a business owner.
Yeah, but I feel like it's different. Like barber, you always tip a barber.
Yeah.
How much do you tip him?
Guess how much a standard men's haircut is.
The haircut you get.
Yeah.
$2 or $3.
All right. But seriously.
I don't know. $30?
$17.
$17.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is a case
so
where
I can't
it's
just
like,
give him a 20. I usually give him like 24.
Right. Well, yeah, because that would be So we tip about the same. Like I tip $6, but it's a $30 haircut.
No, I'm tipping $7 on a.
Yeah, I'm saying like, but tip wise, we're both spending about the same.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and presumably these haircuts are taking about the same length of time.
Yeah, I mean I have more hair than you.
I have more head.
That's
so it's
true.
A lot
Okay,
to walk
it evens
around.
out. Yeah. Anyway, back to the waxing.
No, the waxing's done with.
Wait, how much? 15%?
20% for a waxer or a threader.
What's a threader?
When
you get stitches?
No, it's a guy.
How much do you tip your doctor?
It's a man who hates the Ninja Turtles and wants to turn them into turtle soup. The threader. So you ask how much to tip a doctor. Here's a weird thing.
I wouldn't want to eat turtle soup made from the Ninja Turtles.
No, it'd be like too stringy.
Yeah.
Right? They're muscular.
It's like eating a man.
Yeah. Especially he's gonna eat all 4 of them. That's gonna be like a size of an in-ground pool. That
doing
soup.
a meal prep. He freezes a lot of it.
Yeah, what a sick guy.
Shredder, huh? What about Krang? He's just a brain and a thing, huh?
Wow.
If you think about it, we're all just brains and bodies.
We're all just brains and things. I was at the hospital last night, not for anything emergency-wise.
Well, you were shot.
I'd been shot during a misunderstanding.
Well, you were robbing a liquor store.
Yes. Well, that's what he said, but I said I paid for this last week. Or the liquor.
You prepay for your liquor.
No, it was the liquor that I bought last week. It got me too drunk and blacked out, so I didn't get to enjoy it. So I'm owed another bottle, in my opinion.
That's not store policy?
I said it was. I said the other guy said it was.
Small business owners,
as I
man.
reached over the counter. No, but the hospital had valets, and I tipped the valet. But that like felt weird, like tipping out a hospital.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the valets didn't go to like medical school, though.
They all did. They were all wearing doctors.
Wow.
Coats, yeah.
Man, they had it's just part of the rotation, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, today you're on, heart surgery and tomorrow.
Yeah, there was that episode of ER.
Yeah, where
George Clooney accidentally dinged up a car and everybody got in trouble.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
Dr. Mark Green
what
had
do
to
I
come down on him.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he tried to like cover it up with silly putty.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, "Oh, Clooney."
Dr. Ross!
So yeah, how much do you tip a valet?
Usually I forget that I never have money on me. I usually go for like $3.
You usually tip with candy.
$3 to $5.
Yes, they say 2 to 5. I usually tip 3.
Okay.
Unless I don't have 3, and if I have like a 5, I'll tip a 5.
What do you do if you have a 10 in your pocket?
You can ask for change.
Really?
I mean, it's awkward, but you can you say, "Can you break a 10?"
Yeah, it's true.
Because they're not gonna be like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm expecting a $10 tip."
Well,
so I would say, "Can you break a 10?" And then I would say, "I just need $5 back or whatever."
do the math in your head beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, I do that at the barber shop a lot. Like, I don't have. How do you feel about? Do you do you pay, get your change, and then make like a big show of like, and now your tip?
Count it out. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
4. I get everybody.
And then you go like
it.
4. No, that's enough.
No. What I do, it depends. If total 24, if I have it, I'm just gonna give them 24. I'm not gonna be like change for a 20, and now I'm gonna add the 3 that you gave me to the like. Come on, who's zooming who here?
Well, I'm saying I usually just like give them a bunch of bills and say like I just need this much back.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. Why do we have to say these obvious things, Tom? Do you ever leave a tip behind for the housekeepers in a hotel?
Yeah.
That's something I always forget about.
Yeah, I always forget, but when I do remember, I try to.
Yeah.
Just because.
Hey, we're great men.
We are really great men. The title of this episode should be Tim and Tom, 2 great men.
Yeah, one of us is clearly better than the other, but we're both on the great scale. Pretty
This
great.
thing that I have says food delivery $2 to $4. I try and really take, not to go back to food delivery, but I try and take the weight into account. You know? Because sometimes I'm ordering like a bunch of sodas too, a bunch of cans of soda. It's like, I know it's going to be
Why are
heavy.
you ordering multiple cans of soda?
If I've run out of soda, I'm not ordering multiple, but I'll order one sometimes.
You're always talking about how you're running out of soda.
Yeah, I go through a lot of it.
And you also talk about how like you'll just go to the supermarket to make a quick like case of soda run.
Yeah.
How much, honestly, be honest.
No, actually,
how much soda, how many cans, how many 12-ounce cans of soda are you drinking a day?
I've cut down a lot, but as a result, I drank like more seltzer than I ever did soda.
All right, but how much?
I can go through like 6 cans of seltzer in a day.
How many
and then,
sodas?
Sodas nowadays I reserve for meal times. So just 5.
You don't think soda like ruins a meal? Doesn't that?
No, soda
I feel
makes
like
a
soda,
meal pop.
It throws off your whole palate.
You're not eating sugary enough meals.
That's true.
What about coat checkers?
Oh, I hate the idea of a coat check. It's fucked up that they can't just be like, "Here's a hook. Everybody, like, leave your coats here." Like,
well,
you
but
have
some
to
people
pay.
have like nice coats and they don't want them to get taken.
Well, this is why I don't have nice things. I don't know. It just seems.
Well, you usually throw your coat up in the rafter somewhere.
Yeah, and then I'm usually up there anyway, skulking around at the end of the night. But yeah, no, friggin', you go somewhere in the winter and it's cold, and they're like, "Yeah, we know you have these coats on, and we know you got nothing to do with them.
Yeah,
time to friggin' charge you." It's like I already paid top dollar for this ticket.
Yeah, if I'm going somewhere where I'm sitting, I will not check my coat.
I just leave my coat on.
I mean, I'll take my coat off, but I'll sit on my coat. But if I'm going somewhere where like it's like a rock and roll concert, and it's standing room only, then a lot of times I will do a coat check because it's like, well, I don't want to just hold this like a dweeb. I want to get out there and dance.
I usually give $2.
Yeah, I would give 2. I feel like $1 for a lot of things nowadays is like almost.
Why even bother?
Yeah,
it's the Mr. Wendell thing. It's not enough for anybody.
Well, I mean, eventually it would add up, but it's just kind of like it's not worth my time to like give you this. It's not worth your time to take it. You know, let's bump that up to 2.
Tom, can I tell you something?
Uh-huh.
I took a taxi cab home from the airport the other day.
So did I.
And the guy was so happy. He's like, "I live right near you." And I was like, "Oh, cool." He was like telling me his address and stuff, and like,
you're like, "Great, I'm opening a new restaurant in my home."
And
you should come to opening night.
So he dropped me up, and he's like, "Hey, look right over there, over that building, but like to the left, a couple blocks down. That's my building." It's like, great,
yeah,
cool. Thank you.
Did he give you his home number to call if you need any rides?
And he was like, "I'll see you around the neighborhood." And I was like, ha, 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 right? And I was like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
And I got my bag, and I left. And then the next day I was moving my car for alternate side, and I saw a spot on the other side. I was going the one way on the street, and it was a two-way street.
Yeah.
And so I had to go and like bang
Quickly,
a Yui,
yeah,
as they say, and get back to it. And a cab sneaks in and parks there.
Oh,
and this guy
man.
with this big red beard got out.
Yeah.
And I was so mad because like he snuck in, he saw that I was going for it.
Right.
And I saw it was him. He got out, he walked away. And I rolled down the window. I was like, hey, man. This is the very next day.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, man. And he was just like, I got that spot fair and square. And like walked away.
You're like, I thought we were friends.
Yeah, what the hell? I wasn't asking you to move. I just thought it was crazy that like
Yeah.
12 hours later we ran into each other.
Well,
no,
he knew.
This guy doesn't friggin' care.
Yeah. Do you want to solve a problem, or do you have more things to say about tipping?
I'm just
I didn't use my joke.
So angry all the time. Okay.
Tipping isn't just a city in China.
No,
What?
explain that to me.
Because there's a city called Tipping in China.
No, there's not.
Taipei? That's in Taiwan, I think.
Today you said, I said, how about we do this episode on tipping? And you said, yeah, I can use my tipping is a city in China.
Yeah,
joke.
wait until the end. Big finish.
First of all, it's not your joke.
came
Thousands
up
of
with
people
it.
have said it. And second, you don't even understand the joke that you're claiming as your own.
What? There's a city called Tipping or Tipping or something.
No, there's not.
Or does it just sound like it could be a city
Yeah,
in China?
I think it's a racist, thing.
Yeah. My other joke was going to be, you can call me Tipping Hedron.
Like Tippy Hedron.
Yeah.
The birds.
The birds, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't call you tipping anything. I'd call you. Have you ever stiffed anybody?
No. I've given...
Like out of spite?
No. I think I've... maybe once where like it was like a verbal altercation beforehand. No, not really. Like I've given like 10% tips, but I will not go below. And that has been only when like you can't get a check and the guy is being like literally being like, saying shit to you.
When has that happened?
No, I think one time I was...
People have like said mean things to you while serving you
No,
your
there
food.
was one time.
Hey,
I
you
mean,
big head fucking oaf.
I shouldn't even say this because you're gonna drag
Here's your
me.
pasta primavera, you ugly piece of shit.
I shouldn't even say this because I know you're gonna drag me for it. But there was one time where I tipped a penny as an asshole move, and I can't remember what
Because the waitress wasn't attractive enough.
No, I forget what it was, but it was
She
like
wouldn't sit in your lap at Hooters.
no, it was like words were exchanged, and like I was accused of something, like not something bad, like I was accused of like stealing or something.
Stealing's bad.
No, but I mean not like harassing somebody, like I was accused of something like there was no way I did it. It wasn't like, oh, you misconstrued that. It was like, sir, somebody stole, and it was you. And I'm like, what? No, I can't remember what it was.
I tend to think this happened more than once.
No, it only happened once, and it was like like I said, I know you were going to give me shit for it. I shouldn't even brought it up because I can't remember the situation. But it was like a once in a lifetime. I've never had like somebody talk to me that way type of situation.
Have you ever left something that looks like a $20 bill, and as soon as the waiter picks it up, it's really a piece of paper with a Bible verse on it and saying, you know what's more valuable than a tip? Finding the Lord.
That's maybe the most awful thing anyone can do.
I think that happens all the time.
Oh, that's the shittiest thing in the world. This was like, I told the person, like, I'm leaving you a penny, like, intentionally. Like, I didn't want to leave no tip and have you think I forgot. I'm leaving you a penny.
Because we were yelling at each other. Did you get into the altercation before you ate?
No, I think
Where was this? Tavern on the Green? I feel like you used to go to Tavern on the Green a lot.
No, man, it was something with, like, I was charged for like something I didn't get, and then like it turned into like a big argument where I was just like, "What? This is not my bill," or something like crazy. I'm going to try and remember it, and I will record an addendum to this episode.
Have you ever tipped more, as I do frequently when I'm out with you, tipped more to make up for a friend's bad tipping?
Not friends, but yes.
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
That's some shit.
Yeah, I've done that with like family members. Like not immediate family members, but like extended family members of like, ew.
Yeah. It sucks when you go out with people who don't act right.
Yeah.
Stinks.
Sure does.
You got any more tipping stuff? Because we probably don't have enough time. Let's just solve a fucking problem. Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. I'm Tim.
I'm Tom.
And we're going to solve a problem. Tom.
Yeah.
I have a problem from Eugene.
Okay, Eugene the Mean Machine.
Yeah. Dear Tim and Tom, I hope you are well and that you're dealing with the back-to-school period well.
I am. I'm adjusting surprisingly well.
After moving to the UK a year ago to do a postgraduate degree, I've recently got a job and started renting my own place that isn't a university dorm.
I think he means hiring a flat.
It's part of a house share, and I'm really happy with the whole situation, except for one thing.
Bats.
The kitchen.
Oh.
In this living arrangement, I get my own room and bathroom, but I have to share the kitchen with the landowner, his wife. Landowner, isn't that weird? I mean, I guess that's better than landlord.
Yeah, or landlover.
Yeah. I have to share a kitchen with the landowner, his wife, and 2 other tenants. We don't really talk much, though I'm sure they're all nice people. The issue is I'm bad at small talk, and I'm quite averse to it. But sometimes when I go downstairs to prepare a meal, I'll run into one of the other tenants, which means that I need to do the usual, hi, how are things, nice weather. They used to look after a dog for their relative. Tom, you're not paying attention to me.
I am. I am listening with my
You were
ears.
looking at your phone.
I was turning my phone off so I could give you my full attention.
You were not turning your phone off.
Tim, see if my phone's on right now.
Why were you turning your phone off?
So I could give you my full attention.
That's not why you were turning your phone off.
No, so I could give you my full attention. Yeah, I could continue. You have my full attention.
Sometimes when I go down for hi, how are things, nice weather.
Yes.
They used to look after a dog for their relative, who not only was a great conversation piece, but I could also just
not
just
only was a
decide,
great conversationalist.
but I could just decide to play with him instead of talking to them.
Yes.
But now he's gone back to his original owners. I'm not exaggerating when I say I have skipped meals just because I didn't want to talk with the others. How can I prevent malnutrition without having to move, and preferably without having to talk about the weather? Thanks for a great show. After 4 years of listening, I was able to attend the live show on September 15th, and I had a blast.
Oh, thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. Yours truly, Eugene the Mean Machine.
You could get a hot plate.
Yeah, let's get a hot plate.
I don't know. I mean, they're always in the kitchen.
I think it's just unpredictable.
Yeah.
You just got to eat off hours. Just go there at 2 a.m. Become nocturnal.
Yeah. I was thinking actually recently an idea for a stunt episode is me and you switch to being nocturnal for a week.
For a week?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could handle that.
And then see if like that's what we want to do from then on.
I don't think your life would change all that much.
No, it wouldn't change at all. You would have to like quit your job. I was gonna say put a hidden camera in the kitchen
and just see and go down there when people aren't down
yeah
there. And if anybody is getting up to any hanky-panky there, you can blackmail them.
Right.
And you could be like, look, 7 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. is my time. Otherwise, I'm going to tell the landowner you were making time with his wife in the kitchen.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, well, and if that happened.
Yeah, you set them up.
Right.
You try to sow the seeds of
How many
of
people
romance.
total share this kitchen?
Oh, were you maybe looking at your phone and not paying attention?
I was turning it off so I could give my full attention.
The landowner,
Mm-hmm.
his wife, and 2 other tenants.
Okay.
4 people.
plus Eugene the Mean Machine.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like there would be that much cross.
That sucks sharing a kitchen with people. Get out of there, Eugene.
Live
Live somewhere better.
He's got his own bathroom, though, and that's by far the
Maybe.
bigger. No, he said he did.
Did he?
Yeah. Were you not paying attention?
Oh, I have my own room and bathroom. You always you hone in on bathroom talk.
Put a hot plate in the bathroom. Convert your bathroom into a half bath, half kitchen.
That's a brilliant idea. No, you know what? It's the UK. They don't have any friggin'. They don't even have a light switch in the goddamn bathroom.
Yeah, they're
over
so
there.
afraid of being electrocuted.
Oh, I don't want a fire.
Yeah,
I don't want
they're
a
very.
fire. I'm very afraid of fire. It takes me 40 minutes to leave my house in the morning.
I would say either get a hot plate and keep it in your kitchen, in your not in the kitchen, that would defeat the purpose. Keep it in your bedroom, or like start eating quick to make meals.
Yeah, meal prep. You know what? Go in there on a Saturday.
Prep all your meals in your bedroom.
No, prep them in the kitchen.
walk from your bedroom to the kitchen with like a bunch of like chopped vegetables and stuff in your arms.
Tom, look, I could say a lot of things right now, but I'm not going to do it. Here's the thing. Set up a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Try to catch the landowner's wife cheating on him with one of the tenants, and then just friggin' read him the riot act.
Then you can probably get like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just be like, I saw what you were doing with the landowner's wife to the other tenants.
Just to make them call your bluff.
Yeah, exactly. And they'll be like, what? And then they'll just be like, this guy Eugene the Mean Machine is crazy.
Yeah. Let's stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah, he keeps accusing me of doing things with the landowner's wife. If the landowner finds out about this, I'm toast.
I'm cooked.
Yeah. And so I won't cook.
Yeah.
Or make toast.
He's going to make me toast and talk to me about the weather while he's doing it.
Yeah. I don't know. Also, like, become more interesting. Talk to them about things.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us, thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com. You can also check out our website, tcgt.com, to find out more about the show. I mean, there's not much more there, but there's more.
There's other episodes of the show.
There's other episodes. If you want to support the show, you can check out tcgt.com/pledge for our Patreon, where you get weekly mini episodes, and tcgt.com/Amazon, where you can do your Amazon shopping. But let Tim and Tom get a little cut of the action.
Let me get a taste of that. Why does Bezos get to keep all of it?
And you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
At your pal Tim.
And you can follow at Complete Guide on Twitter as well.
Tom,
yeah.
I think what we've learned today is that I'm a better tipper and a better man than you.
No, I think what we've learned is you think you can like buy waiters friendship.
You keep saying that, but is there one instance where I've befriended a waiter after the transaction's over?
No, that's what makes it even stupider that you keep trying. It hasn't worked out once yet.
I got enough friends, Tom. I got too many friends as it is. Too many. That's a threat.
Oh, I see. That I might get the axe.
Yeah. Hey, Tom. Marika, we're never going to see her again after today.
That's not true.
So fond farewell to Marika. It's
Tim, this is like
thank you for everything you've done for us. You're a wonderful person.
It's like another threat.
No. I just think
you're always making threats on this show.
I think.
And now it's gone too far. Now you're threatening people in the room.
If Marika never does the show again, I will be sad. But it's looking increasingly like that's definitely what's going to happen. So thank you for all you've done.
All right. We'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.